Sisters, what is up? Alright, so today we're smoking out together. Cheers. I was talking, the last few days I've had a couple of readings on this twin flame journey. Every time I have twin flame shit come up, people start asking. They're like, what is a twin flame? What is a soulmate? What is a karmic? Help! So I'm here to help. Let's kind of get into the nitty gritty of it all. So from my experience, you experience the three, almost chronologically, I would say, but let me smoke a little bit more. Hold up. Okay. Cheers. So, shut up. I know, I'm weak ass lungs. They're full of resin. So, yes, the karmic is typically what comes first. And the term karmic means that this is a past life connection. That's my tattoo. I was like, what is this? I'm sorry. Squirrel. So yeah, your karmic is typically the first one that you encounter, right? You can have many. I've had a couple karmics myself. The karmics, God bless their soul, okay? Because they're the ones that you find when you're young and you're dumb and you have no idea about love or structure or anything, right? You find them. And I'm pretty sure that your karmics are definitely people that you've killed in the past life or killed you, or like, there's a debt there, right? There's some wrongdoing there. And the whole purpose is to pay that karmic debt, right? And so you have to kind of be in service a little bit to that connection. While you're healing that debt, or paying that debt, it's going to be turbulent, it's like there's this magnetism, like you feel so drawn to them, like you don't want to leave, like you're just like it. But at the same time, y'all can't see eye to eye. It's like you guys are on different frequencies always. It's like there's no, like common ground, and this is the one that you fight with. This is the one that, like really pulls. They have to bring all your flaws to light, and you have to see the worst of yourself in them and the best sometimes, in order to heal from that. I would say karmic, from my experience with my karmics, no matter how turbulent it got, there's this level of camaraderie, right? And it's not true for everybody in their karmic. Most karmics end pretty tumultuously, it's like pretty much not on good terms, if you can make it to good terms, that's honestly the best way to go about it. It just, the karmic is the one that hurts. It hurts. It hurts while it's happening. It hurts when it ends. It just hurts. And and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't go through this, because you absolutely should. Like, even if you realize that you're in a karmic relationship, if you're at a point where you're still in that connection and you still feel like you need this connection, stay in it. I stayed in a connection for like a decade, and I mean, there was a lot of on and offs, but for the most part, some of these connections we really need for healing and growth, right? And the whole purpose there is to find common ground with them, to come to peace with them, right? To get that closure that, like, your connection is not meant to last forever, but, like, something needs healed there, right? And when you felt like your karmic debt is paid, and you know, energetically, you know when it's paid, because that's when doors start opening up and you're able to walk away and it doesn't hurt, and it's, you know, it's healing. This is the one that fucks you up. This is the one that fucks you up. This is the one that you get all the damage from. And then moving on to the soulmate. They're also karmic in the sense that you've known them in past lives. Difference is, with your soulmate connection, is you'll be vibing on the same, like, almost the same frequency, right? We're, like, almost there. I would say you're just, like, a hairline smidge away from being exactly the same frequency as your soulmate. You're very similar in energy. You like all the same things. You want to do all of the same things. Nothing gets done with your soulmate because there's no discipline. There's no stability. It's like all the good feelings, but all the negative repercussions of that, because this is the connection that you get lazy in, right? You're like, and because it does go pretty easily. Like, it does flow, like, pretty well. And this is meant to heal you from your karmic. I've had a couple of these soulmate connections where it was just healing. You know, it was just nice. You know, that's not saying that there weren't hard times, but they were never like what I experienced with the karmic. You know, so like the hardships, you know, that's with every relationship. There's going to be shit that you have to face, shit that you have to overcome, shit that you have to grow through, you know. It's all about learning, developing, changing, shifting, all that shit. It's blah, 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 blah. So, moving onward, what makes the twin flame different, right? Your soulmate, I would say they come from your same star batch, right? And you guys, because we're all stardust. When a star implodes or when a star dies, all that energy is emitted into the universe, and that becomes us. And we are star babies. Yeah, the stars are incubators for the soul. And so your soulmate is within that. You know, your karmic doesn't necessarily have to be from your batch. There is just a karmic debt that you done fucked up with this person, and you gotta make it right? And it's good practice though. That, like, you know, if you do have problems in your life, it's good practice to make things right, or, you know, at least like find common ground, you know, make peace in your situations. I can't say that I've made peace with all of my situations, but even sometimes just walking away from situations is making peace with that and just accepting it for what it is. Acceptance is a big one. If you're going to be in any kind of relationship, acceptance is the biggie. The biggie. I never bust out my wand. So, the twin flame. Man, to the people who have been watching my channel since, like, I started, like, I know that they're kind of like, oh, here we go, you know, because I always get kind of, like, bent a little bit when I start talking about twin flames. Because I was a little bit bitter. So actually, before I bring up I should bring up the twin flame, yeah, and then the false twin flame. I'll bring that up, too. So, bear with me while my stoner brain tries to organize this video. Okay, so basically, because, okay, you're going to get a little science lesson to explain what a twin flame is. Okay, so, because of electron repulsion, between every atom in your body, there is a micro distance of space, right? And Scientists for fucking ever have called this empty space. But however, we know that it's not. It's electrons, it's energy, right? So electron repulsion, it literally it holds the atoms together, but it also keeps them apart. Like they can never actually connect because of the electron repulsion that's occurring. It repels each atom from each other, right? But also together. It's the way that it makes it so that I don't melt into this when I touch it. Like I'm able to maintain form because 99.999999999% of what I am is energy, and barely a fraction of 1% of what I am is matter. Okay, and that's the same for you. I know. You're just like, yeah, so you're a ghost, wearing an outfit. That's what you are. Scientifically, that's what you are. It's been proven. So, now that you know you're a ghost wearing an outfit, this leads me to another thing about energy. Energy does not have the same constraints that matter does, right? So matter is limited by time and space. It's kind of like stuck in this dimension. Energy is not. Energy is not limited by time and space. Therefore, your soul can incarnate into two bodies during the same lifetime. Yes. So, and that's the paradox of being alive, guys. Y'all are walking around like, what? Finding your twin flame is rare as fuck. Rare as fuck. Like, it rarely ever happens. Most people get stuck with a karmic or a soulmate, right? And you know the soulmate connections. It's those old couples that are like together for 80 years and they're like, we're always so happy. I love them. We're matching outfits every day. That's, you know them, right? And it's beautiful, and that is a connection worth holding on to. You know, that is something worth, you know, that's important. And I feel like with this twin flame thing coming to light, it also like minimizes the other connections, which in my opinion are also important. Yeah, so basically, your twin flame is you in another body. Also, this is part of the equalizing nature of the universe, right? If you notice, even Isaac Newton, my boy, noticed that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? When we have a battery, we've got the positive, the negative force, right? The yin, the yang, we've got this dynamic of the duality, right? We've got good and evil, light and dark, blah, blah, blah. Active, inactive, whatever. However you identify the yin-yang connection, right? So when one person is sent into the world, right? One of two things could happen. It's sent times in the same lifetime, or it's sent once, you know, and typically, you know, I would like to say that there's somebody for everyone in every lifetime. I would like to say that, but I've seen enough people die alone to know better. And so there's also that. Okay, let's be real. You know, not everyone's going to find their twin flame. I feel like people who do, it's like they've known. They know. They grow up knowing and understanding. They're the kids that are talking to themselves, that are off playing in a corner by themselves, staring at walls, you know, having their, like, imaginary conversations and shit. They're probably connecting energetically to their twin flame from a young age and not really understanding that. To them, this is, you know, it could be their conscience. It could be the voice of God. It could be whatever, you know, but your twin flame is typically ever present in you, and you know that, right? And so there's some people who, like, kind of just go on through life just kind of like, I know my person's out there, Just don't know how to fucking get them, right? Don't look for them. That's how you get them. The twin flame thing can be rough too, because you guys are the polarity of one another, right? You are the equalizing force of one another in this universe, right? You equalize each other. Your existence is equalized by theirs. They are the equal opposite of you. And with this, we get this dynamic of where there's a lot of similarities, right? Imagine it's one soul, right? Imagine like you take a plant, right? This is a perfect example. This is a propagated plant, right? So this isn't the original plant. What we did was we snipped a little bit of another plant, stuck it in water, let it sprout, and then we potted that, right? So now this plant that had one body is now two bodies, right? Same fucking plant. Now it's in a different environment. Now it's being exposed to different things. Now it has a different light schedule. Now everything's different about this plant from the original plant that it went to, right? But intrinsically, the core of what it is the same, right? So imagine you take one soul and you put it in the world twice, and one grows up rich and free and, you know, experiencing life, right, on that one end of the spectrum, right? And the other grows up sheltered, poor, house, like, stuck in the house all the time, never allowed freedom, abused, suffocated, you know, like, whatever, right? Opposite ends of the spectrum. So they grow up differently. And then they have to come together later in life after having complete opposite lives growing up, right? Growing up and eating different foods, having different cultures, living completely different lives, right? This one soul comes back together, and it's like, now we have to try to meet eye to eye, right? Your frequency with your twin flame is always 100% on point. You know when you connect with your twin flame because it feels like you look in their eyes and you see infinity, you know, like, you know, just the way that you connect with them, the way you laugh with them, the way that you are with them, that hits different than like any other connection you've ever had. It's like a mirror, right? Like, you feel mirrored by those things. But then we don't, but, the things that do set you apart, or the things that have been different about your growing up, are the things that make you curious about one another. That's what makes it so that it doesn't get stagnant and boring, right? Every interaction with your twin flame will leave you with growth and development and a sense of purpose, you know, and not that they're necessarily your purpose, because I hate that idea that another person could possibly be your purpose, but I do believe that your purpose here is to connect with your highest self, right, and realize that you are not meat suit, you know, like, that's the biggest thing here. And when you connect with your astral body, with your astral self, that's when you go into alignment with that. You know, that's energetically your spouse. That's the person that kind of stepped out of the supernova with you, right? Because it is you. It's a weird concept, okay? And that leads me to the next one, okay? Because there's also the other guy. I always, I don't talk about this one enough. You know, I have to bring out my wand for this one. I did not talk about this one enough. The false twin flame. The false twin flame. So, right before you connect with your twin flame, something occurs, right? And it's unfortunate that this occurs, but you meet your false twin flame, right? Pretty much everything will feel like the signs will line up, but it doesn't feel like your twin flame, and you realize that when you connect with your twin flame, right? Because connecting with your twin flame is easy, it's fluid, it flows, it's natural, it's, you know. With your false twin flame, there's a lot of resistance. It's like you feel like all the same signs come up, you feel all the same kind of things happening, but then they don't come through for you. You get a lot of silence from them. Usually, like, it's a pretty one-sided connection. Like, one is investing in it while the other is just kind of benefiting from it. And it's like one, like you'll just feel like kind of strung along by your false twin flame. Your false twin flame never comes through for you, and you'll know that it's your false twin flame if you are perpetually doing the work over and over and over and over, and getting to that level of peace in yourself, and they're still not coming through. Right? You let go, you do all of your work, and they still don't show up. Let go. Let go. Okay? Whether you're with a karmic, a soulmate, a twin flame, a false twin flame, whatever. If you're ever feeling emotionally neglected in your connection, let go. Because from my experience, the ones that actually matter, the ones that actually hold relevance in your life and in your future, the ones that are meant for you are the ones that are going to just kind of stay. Like, it just kind of happens. There's not like, I don't know, I feel like with your false twin flame, there's just so much anguish. You know, there's so much struggle, there's so much fighting, and there can be that with your twin flame. But if you're consistently doing the work and you're consistently staying in a mindset of non-attachment, right? Not detachment. I don't like that, but like non-attachment, to where you have to keep it in your mindset that you're not going to give up your existence for this person. You're gonna have strong boundaries. You're gonna be like so woke by the time you end up with your twin flame that you're gonna know how to, you know, handle the dynamics of this relationship. I honestly was not ready, even you know, when I thought I was the most ready, I was not, like, and it took a lot of, like, kind of being angry and upset with the universe, you know, like, but I was hung up on a false twin flame for a really long time. So, you know, that does happen. The one that never comes through, you know, the one that's just, you know, and it's harsh, it's a harsh reality, but once you accept it, then you leave room, you know, for the real thing, you know, to kind of pop up in your life. I think I even made a video when I came to accept that they were my false twin flame, because I was like, you know, that's why I get so weird about talking about twin flames on here, because I feel like people who've been watching my videos have watched me kind of like go through my own shit, in regards to my journey, and, where I'm at now, I feel like I did the whole alchemy, you know? Like, I had to experience the different connections. I had to grow and learn from all of it, you know? I would say my false twin flame is probably one of the biggest blessings I ever had, because they showed me what I deserve in love by not ever giving that to me, you know, if that makes sense. It's like the people who never came through for you, you start really realizing how much of a blessing that was for you to not have them in your life, to not have them get too close, to not allow them to steal your spirit or break your spirit, you know? Because it's, you know, it's possible. We get vulnerable in love and shit, you know, like, that's, I mean, we even have stories about this. Achilles, Mark Anthony, fucking all the boys, you know, like, love is the #1 biggest threat to your sanity and your life, I swear to God. But it's what people live for. You know, in the reality, as much as everybody wants to be like, oh, people, blah, 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 blah. I'm a tarot reader. I actually see into people's lives pretty often, and I will tell you, a lot of people live for this shit. They want to experience love. They want to experience those connections. They want the spiritual aspects of those connections. They want the depth, and the companionship, the growth, you know. And for those of you who are, you know, looking for that or having that, or, you know, even those of you who don't fucking want that, like, I feel like it's good to learn about them. I feel like it's good to understand why these connections are important and why we have them. A long time ago, my false twin flame once asked me, why do you fuck with mortal men? And I finally, like, 2 years later, have an answer to that. And it's because I needed to learn from the best. You know? So, you know, like, I don't feel, like I've lost anything in connections I've had in the past. I feel like, if anything, I've gained something. I've gained knowledge. I've gained friendships. I've gained, you know, understanding, growth. It's all about the mindset of going in and out of relationships. I feel like that's important, you know. Make sure that you're setting your intentions of what you want to receive in this, you know. It's not selfish to want to receive certain levels of love or certain, you know, that's our love language. Okay, we get to define it ourselves. And it's nice and it's awesome. You know, we talk about the Akashic records also pretty frequently in my videos. And I kind of wanted to bring that up too, because, you know, that's kind of like the map of your soul, like what you're here to do, the soul contracts that you have with your karmics, your soulmates, your twin flame. It talks about, you know, like everything that you're meant to experience, right? And all of this was written on your fucking body before you were born, right? Like, it was on your body when you were born. The map to your entire life and how you were meant to live it, and the connections you were meant to have, and even the children you were meant to have. Even, you know, it tells you everything, and it's right here on your fucking hand. And that's why palm reading is so important. Palm reading is like our own personal celestial chart, right? I believe that the markings on our bodies tell us a lot more about who we are on a soul level than we realize. From birthmarks to moles to freckles, all of it. I strongly believe that. I believe that there are maps of our entire destiny on our bodies. And that shit's pretty cool to me. So, you know thyself and you will know your way, right? Oftentimes, I always think about that quote from Alice in Wonderland when she's talking to the Cheshire Cat. And she's like, help, I'm lost, I don't know which way to go. And the Cheshire Cat's like, well, where are you going? And she's like, I don't know. And then he's like, well, if you don't know where you're going, then any way you go is the right way. You know, like, just go. And really, that's what it is in life. If you're feeling lost, if you're like, fuck, I don't know what to do, I don't know where I'm going, just, sometimes I like to do a little meditation practice where I just like stand in one spot or sit in one spot, whatever. And I imagine everything falling away, right? All the walls, all the floors, all the ceilings, all the everything's gone. Everything disappears, right? All of Earth disappears and it's just me out in open space, right? And that that helps me to reconnect with the cosmos and reconnect with the source of what I am and what is actually important. If Earth were to disappear, none of this shit matters, right? None of this shit matters. What does matter though, because there's something here that is not limited by space and time, something that does actually matter about the way we live our lives here. And that is our energy. That is our soul. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is eternal. You're eternal, okay? You're gonna keep going, right? And so these memories, these collections, these stories, these things, these are just us over and over and over and over and over, you know? Energy is a magnificent thing. And so that's why I think it was the Buddha or the Dalai Lama, somebody, some wise dude was like, fuck, what did he say? He was like, everything you do in life is very insignificant, but it's very important that you do it. And that's important to remember, you know, like amor fati and memento mori. Love your fate and remember you were mortal. Like, this is life. This is living. And the thing is also remember that you're also immortal, right? Some parts of you are never gonna die. They're just gonna shift and grow and change and transform, and you're a goddamn shapeshifter. Get with it. Get with the times. Figure out what you are. That song "Human" by Highly Suspect. Yes. Listen to that. That one's a really good song. But yeah, I hope that this kind of helps kind of understand the connections. The twin flame is going to be a way different kind of vibe, guys. When you find your forever, your kingdom spouse, right? That's also a big thing, right? Because when you find your kingdom spouse, it's like immediately everything else is out the door. Everything else is out the door, and that connection is it. And I feel like a lot of people need to work on themselves to actually get to the point of emotional maturity to handle that. I fucking needed. I needed my season alone, okay? Like, I need to work on some aspects of myself, you know, and I feel like I've been working on myself since day one. So, you know, we've got a lot of work that we all collectively need to do. Even with or without the twin flame connection, I feel like knowing yourself, connecting with yourself, and being real with yourself is the most important thing. I'm getting a download. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's, you know, when your twin flame, also, I want to say before I close this out, it reflects your relationship with yourself. Okay? So, like, if you love yourself, if you're devoted to yourself, if you put in time for yourself, effort for yourself, if you're gentle with yourself, you know, kind to yourself, all that will be reflected in your connection with the twin flame, because the twin flame is just your connection with yourself, but on the third dimension, right? Like, placed on a level where it's tangible to you now. And so how you are with the people you love, you also need to be with yourself, right? You need to set strong boundaries. You need to be gentle. You need to be kind. You need to have your non-negotiables. You know, people need to talk about that shit in relationships. You know, when you're starting a connection, you need to know what is a non-negotiable. What are things that they're not giving up for you, you know, and vice versa, you know. I feel like, you know, be intentional about the people you love. Be intentional about your connections. If you choose to commit yourself to a connection, then I feel that you need to be showing up every day. You need to be putting in the work every day. Physical contact every day is also important. I know that a lot of people don't understand that, like, so much is, like, even just holding hands. But you emotionally feel distance from your partners when you don't connect with them, you know, in that way. And I feel like, you know, as often as you can, you should connect with them. You know, they even tell you when you have a baby, make sure you get skin to skin contact. It helps the bonding process. Same with this connection. You want to work on the bonding process. Your relationship, the whole dynamic of that should be based on the good times, right? So, like, just having fun with each other, having companions, you know, da-da-da. It shouldn't feel like something that you don't want to do. It shouldn't feel like something that you resent doing. It shouldn't feel like something that you feel burdened by. You know, like, it should feel like freedom. It should feel like love. It should feel like connection. There should be trust. There should be a bond. There should be that unity. And, you know, when you're completely honest with them, and when, you know, you're open and you guys have this dynamic with one another, it's like, there's no room for doubt. There's no room for, you know, because you're giving your energy to the one that you love, and you're giving them the best version of yourself, right? Like, how do you want to be treated in love? Treat them like that, right? I'm pretty sure, like, Jesus said that or something. But, like, you know, treat the ones that you love like you fucking love them, and start with yourself, you know? You wouldn't... One thing that makes me absolutely crazy is when people say things like, oh, I'm fat, I'm dumb, I'm da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That self-deprecating, it's not fucking cute, it's not fucking funny. Because what you do is your body, or your mind, controls your body, right? And so if your mind is telling your body these things, then your body is going to listen to your mind, and it's going to become those things. So even in your connections, you need to be talking optimistically, speak positively about your partners. You don't talk bad about them. You don't talk down to them. You respect them. You know, that's something that you would want. So how you want to be treated, how, you know, that's one of the biggest ways to set a boundary, or to set an example, I feel, is to love the way that you want to be loved. You want to be trusted? Fucking trust. You want to be loved relentlessly? Love relentlessly. This reminds me of an Edgar Allan Poe poem, actually, where he said, would thou be loved? Then let thine heart from its present pathway part not. Be everything which thou art, and be nothing which thou art not. I don't know, I'm hella paraphrasing that. But, yeah, that's like one of my favorite poems by Poe. And honestly, if you want to be loved, if you want that connection, then you have to become that. Become love. Become the connection you want. Be the vibrant self you want. Be confident in your connection. Be confident in who you choose, because you're not an idiot, right? You wouldn't choose an idiot. You wouldn't choose a loser. You wouldn't choose somebody, some fuckboy, right? Some fuckgirl, whatever. No, because you have dignity, right? You respect yourself. You love yourself. So you're going to choose a quality partner that you know you can trust, because you vetted them out. because you know that they live up to your standards. Right? Correct? Because that's how it should be. Because that's how it should be. My brain is going faster than my mouth right now. I may not even do readings today. This might be my big thing today. Because I do want to dedicate time. I like this. I like going on rants. I haven't done this in a while. Let me go get some more weed, guys. I'll be right back. Man, too many people treat love like it's like just a rite of passage. Like everyone deserves it. Everyone gets it. Everyone gets a little dose of love, you know? And that's so dumb, okay? Let's be real. Oh, check out my little weed jar. It's the lover's card. I love it. Sorry. ADHD. So, what was I saying? Yes. So, the connections that you do have, you need to honor them, right? Whether you're in a karmic connection or a, whatever connection, you know, soulmate, twin flame, whatever kind of connection you're in, honor it, you know, like show up for it, be there, because even if it, you know, doesn't work out or whatever, you still gain something out of that. You still gain experience. You still gain the ability to use those skills that you developed in that relationship for your next one, you know, to avoid certain circumstances that occurred in that connection or whatever, right? We're all learning from our mistakes, ultimately, right? That's the hope. So, yeah. Show up for your connections. Be real, man. We live in a world full of Kardashians and Nicki Minaj's. There's like at least 7 different brands of Nicki Minaj. There's Cardi B, Doja Cat, all these cats. I don't know, you know, but you know what I mean. Authenticity kind of hits different, right? And in a world where everything is so lusty and so sexual and so whatever, you know, the only thing that really competes with that in any real life experience is authenticity. You know, people don't want to show up for people who aren't even showing up for themselves or able to really be themselves. People have to live in a fucking mask, you know? It's nice to see the realness of another. That's really what we crave in connections. We don't crave perfection. We crave authenticity. We don't want to see somebody showing up looking perfect all the time. They want to see the fucking messy bun and the fucking sweats and the, you know, like the real shit. The real life shit, you know? Like, because this is in real life connections, it ain't gonna be like whether or not they were a fucking model that keeps you warm at night. No, it's gonna be how well they love you. How well you love them, you know? Love hits differently when you're really seeking out the right things in your connection, right? A lot of people are so dead set on certain images or certain, and you know what? Oftentimes, from people that I've seen in, like, lifelong connections, like, people who've been married, like, fucking 40, 60 years or whatever, they always, like, have this thing where it's like they're always the funny couple, right? They're always the ones that laugh. They're always the relaxed ones, the easygoing ones, the ones that they always look like they're on an adventure together. You know, it's like you can really tell the difference between those connections and then the ones that are just so stiff and rigid and there's nothing but rules and it feels like a fucking prison. And it's like, love is not supposed to feel like that. You're not supposed to feel possessed and defeated by love. Like, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah. Like I was saying, so love intentionally. You know, love if you're going to love. If you so choose, love intentionally. Love with the idea in your mind that you just want to live your life being happy with this person. You just want to make memories with them. You want to do the boring shit with them. You know? You want to do the fun shit with them. They're the ones that, you know it's the right one when you can never get enough. You know? And you know it's the wrong one when you can never get far enough away. Okay? So, like, really listen to your intuition. Use your discernment in your connections, too. Because within your connection, you know, right? Like, have you ever held somebody and they'll be, like, literally, like, holding them, and you're like, man, it's just not close enough, you know? Like, that's the kind of love that you need to have. Like, where it's just a desire to be in their presence, to enjoy the essence of who they are, not to control them or manipulate them. And you know, this leads me to another thing, jealousy in connections, right? Jealousy is a weird one, right? Because, like, let's be real, everyone experiences jealousy to some extent, okay? Everyone does. And when you do experience that, I challenge you to not take that out on your partner, to not burden them with that. Because that's a personal fucking problem, okay? That's a personal, that ain't their shit. It is not their shit. That is a personal issue with you. If you experience any kind of jealousy. And I know everyone's like, what, open communication? And yeah, you should be open with your communication with your partner. Also, you should not hand them an axe to get you with. It's better to just not talk about things like jealousy, because that's something that you need to sort out inside of yourself when you're experiencing that. You need to ask yourself, why am I feeling that way? Why did I feel inferior? What led me to feeling insignificant, or, you know, whatever? Like, you know, and really ask yourself, get to the root of that, because your feelings are not triggered by them. Your feelings are triggered by you, you know, in your personal perception of a situation. So I challenge you that when you do get in those mindsets of feeling jealousy or like fear and doubt even in your connections, unless you have tangible proof of something, do not go and burden your partner with that. Get a counselor if you need, you know, something. But those kinds of things, those insecurities, those are detrimental to a connection, and those should be worked on independently. Your insecurities, there's no room for them in a real love connection. There just isn't. So that's something that you need to sort out with yourself and leave it at the fucking door when you enter a connection, like a romantic connection. There's just no room for it. No room for insecurities. No room for feeling any kind of embarrassment or shame about your body or anything like that. No. I challenge you to dive into love. Right? People can dive headfirst into hate. Not a second thought. But love, everyone's like, oh, gotta be hesitant, gotta be reluctant. I don't know about that. Maybe we should change the way that we are towards love, you know. Maybe we should be more intentional about how we pursue love instead of just kind of going off of our primal emotions, and actually learn about the structure of love. Learn about how to handle situations that will arise. Not if they arise, when they arise, you know. Subject is inevitable. Jealousy, if you love somebody, that shit's inevitable. You're gonna be like, You're gonna feel it. And it's gonna be weird as fuck, especially if you're not somebody who feels jealous ever. You know? That'll be fucking weird. But that's also kind of an exciting feeling when you separate yourself from the situation and you're able to go and be alone in that feeling and meditate on it. As I have. As I have. It means that you care. It means that you don't want to lose them. It means that your feelings are so big that you almost don't even know what to do with them. Right? But would you die without them? No. Could you live without them? Yes. Could you, do you need them for survival? No. And this deep fear of losing them just shows how important they are to you, on the real. But that's not their business, how jealous you got, right? And that's not something that needs to be brought up in a connection, That's something that I feel needs to be resolved independently. Not a therapist, but I've been giving relationship advice for a while, guys, and it seems to be helping some people, so, it's just certain things just don't need to be problems, My mom always said, pick your battles, right? Is that worth having a battle over? Because the second you bring up any kind of feelings of jealousy or whatever, then automatically you know what is attacked in the relationship? The trust, right? When the jealousy really had nothing to do with the trust, okay? It's not that you don't trust your partner. It's a deep fear of losing your partner, right? That's a different kind of feeling. It's not that you don't trust them. It's that you are vulnerable to how you feel about them. Put your heart in somebody else's hand and hope that they don't fucking smash it, it's scary. I get that, but you don't need to project onto your partner any of your insecurities, any of your fears, any of your doubts. Those are personal problems. And there are some things that we really do need to learn to resolve on our own. And that's another reason why I feel like personal time is super important. Time away from your partner. Time where it's just you vibing, doing your shit. It's important because then you have time to reflect. You have time to meditate. And you have time to trust them. And you have time to miss them, right? Missing people is also important for the bonding experience. Because when you miss them, when they're gone, it's like it triggers that energetic connection to be activated, right? Where you're able to channel their energy. You're able to feel them or feel in their presence without being in their presence, right? That's a deeper kind of connection. Be supportive, if they like doing stuff, video games, fucking, foraging, hiking, whatever their thing is. If they have a thing, don't ever try to take that from them. That's a non-negotiable. Whether they say it or not, it should be. Because you fell in love with them in their passions, right? You fell in love with them while they had their hobbies, while they were doing these things and, whatever. Don't take that from them. Because then you could be taking away the essence of the person you love. Or at least a big part of it. Support them in what they do, support them in their journey. Help them glow up. You want to see them succeed as much as you do. And I feel like, it's kind of a badge of honor to be with somebody who is honorable, somebody who treats you with dignity, somebody who is proud of you, somebody who supports you, somebody who is always loving, somebody who's always understanding, somebody you can talk to about anything. These are important aspects of a relationship, right? And these are things that should not go neglected, as far as I'm concerned. Man, I really went on a whole ass tangent here. But with these tarot readings, I feel like I am a fucking couples therapist half the time. I feel like, you know, a lot of the times it's like the connection isn't wrong. It's the way that people pursue the connection that's wrong, you know? And I see that a lot in tarot, and it's, disheartening sometimes, because I do want to see you guys make the most of your connections, you know, like have the most spiritual experience that you can within your connections. There's a reason that the karmics are magnets to you, okay? There's a reason that you feel that magnetism with your karmic connections as well. Don't fucking neglect that. Don't neglect any aspect. Whatever phase you're in, whatever, you know, circle of hell you're in, bask in it. Embrace it. Like when I was single, I enjoyed the fuck out of being single. When I was in a relationship, I enjoyed the fuck out of being in a relationship. It's all about fucking enjoying it, right? It's all about being in that present moment, you know, that zen, that shit that Alan Watts is always talking about, like, that everyone fucking listens to, but almost nobody lives the actual philosophy of. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Be in that state of being, and life is fun. You know, life is carefree. But when you separate yourself from the present moment and you hyperfixate on, oh, in the future, this, or, you know, like future shit that's gonna happen, or if you're too focused on past shit that's gonna happen, you're gonna let all this shit, or that's already happened, you're gonna let all this shit pass you by. All these great connections, all these amazing experiences, all this growth, all these lessons. And from one alchemist to another, don't miss out on it. Don't miss out on your suffering. Don't miss out on your dark night of the soul. Don't try to cheat code it. Don't try to shortcut it. Go fucking head first into the journey, man. Right? And when your intuition starts picking up and doors start opening and you start feeling called to doing certain things, just go with it, man. And you're always going to be on the right path, you know? And even in your, like, you know, connections, you know, sometimes your intuition just picks up and you just know that you just got to move with it. You just got to flow with it. It may not make sense to your material mind, you know, but your soul calls you to do certain things, you know, or to experience certain things, and that shit's important, you know. Shit's pretty, it's intense, man. All of it, the whole fucking journey, it's all intense. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have for you. This was fun, getting high together. Cheers! Tomorrow I'll be back on my videos again, doing more tarot. Sometimes I just gotta rant with you, and honestly, like, I already told a couple of people that we would talk about twin flames and karmics and soulmates, so I was like, let's get that out of the way. Let's get it done. Because, you know, you guys, you should know. You should understand energetically what's going on. God damn it, I'm stoned. I'm gonna go on another tangent. Hold on to your butts, okay? Don't click off just yet. But yeah, dude. Freaking... I'm sorry. I'm baked off my ass right now. But you know, like... You know, I'm just gonna let you... I'm too stoned. Okay, you guys can click off now. I'll allow it. Okay. Stay blessed, y'all. And I can't wait to do more readings tomorrow. We're gonna get back on the readings. I'll be seeing your asses, seeing what's going on. Just dumped weed everywhere. But yeah, that'll be good. So, namaste. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.